our hospital, I have handled the security from a different unconventional perspective. So in IT we have two pieces. One is day-to-day operation of the Gangaram hospital, and second is where patient interact with the hospital on day-to-day basis. So patient interaction with the hospital is while they are taking the appointments, they are collecting the reports online, or they are accessing the radiology information system or their images, MRI images, etc. So for that very purpose, technically we have isolated these two systems so that our operational systems are not getting impacted and it is in a closed environment, and public facing environment is totally separate, so that if in case of any eventuality, operation is not getting impacted. So that is the one piece of the security I have handled into the hospital. So all the reports, all the lab reports, all the radiology reports, these are into the different environment, and our operational pieces are into the different environment. Furthermore, as a management strategy, we discourages the cloud computing. So everything on the hospital information system or the laboratory information system or the radiology information systems, everything is on-prem. Nothing is on the cloud. So that is another thing, that we are not exposed to the public cloud. So everything is within the hospital. Another thing is, we as a practice into the hospital, we don't work remotely. There are very few people, those who are supporting remotely to the HIS and others. They have been given a token based access, so that whenever they are using those tokens, they get the access into the environment and they get out. So general user of the hospital, they are not connecting to the hospital systems out of the office. So that's how we have dealt with the security of in the IT. Furthermore, we keep on arranging the training and exposure to the common users and making them aware about the cyber security, how to read, how to use the password, how to change the password, what accesses they can be doing, our printers, etc., IoT, OT devices. We have already implemented the MDR endpoints which are connected with the security operations centers. So that way our devices, our systems are totally safe. We have used Zero Trust identity also. So from that perspective, we have tried to address the security.
Very good. So Kunal sir mentioned about on-prem versus cloud, and sir feels that on-prem is a safer environment compared to a cloud. So what's your view on that?
Basically, there is always a debate about the on-premises system and the cloud-based system, and the pros and cons of each system. So yeah, on-premises has their own cons and on pros as well, and similarly for the cloud version. So when we talk about the on-premises, yes, the security risk is limited, but it's not totally gone. In the on-premises systems also, you are using the internet connection, the USB ports are open, users are not educated enough that what need to be used in the system or not. So the healthcare, the most important thing is, as we are adopting the more and more technology, we also need to be focused on the technological innovation and the cyber security point of view of that. And when we talk about the clouds are also very much secure. We also have in the cloud, when we talk about the cloud provider like Azure, AWS, so they have implemented so many security point of view where there's an extreme possibility that there will be an attack, and even in the situation of an attack, they have a replicated systems, so a DR system where the things can be immediately made live within few seconds or few minutes. So yeah, there will always be a debate about, but when we talk about the on-premises server, we are also limited, because nowadays patient also want to have an access to their data in a secured manner. Patient want to have the facility, that kind of facility where they are sitting at home and they are accessing their data, they are accessing their information, and also the healthcare devices are passing those information from the patient to the healthcare systems. So when you have an on-premises thing, there is a lot of technological advancement which hospital need to do. The hospital like Gangaram or the bigger hospital can afford that kind of data center on their premises, but not all of that hospital can afford. So then they have to kind of switch to a cloud-based, but in a secure manner.
Perfect. So I already feel like Rajdeep Sardesai or probably Arnab Goswami, two different views from two different speakers. I was expecting these different views, but I didn't know it will happen in the first 5 minutes. But very good. So Dr. Lalit, I'll repeat the question for you, that what is your view of non-IT functional groups within the organization? I'm talking of HR and legal and accounts and sales and doctors themselves. They're the biggest stakeholders. Why should they get involved in a cybersecurity mission or a cybersecurity initiative in the hospital when it is assumed that cybersecurity comes under IT? Why should I, as a HR leader or as a doctor, worry about this? And what as all of us are part of technology ecosystem, what would you suggest to a CEO of a hospital? There are many people from administration here. What mitigation steps would you suggest to get them more involved in this issue of data governance?
Madhur Sahab, I won't say security sits with IT only.
It's their perception. Not my own. This is their
That was the
perception.
perception 30 years back when I started my career. Yes, I transitioned from IT to security, and security was seen as an IT function till late. But last 15-20 years, things have been changing. One small example: a cyber attack in a bank will delay the transactions, but a cyber attack in a hospital will delay the treatment. It could become a life safety problem. How can you leave it only to IT? How can you leave it only to security? All the functions of a healthcare system has to come together to secure it. Only IT can execute it. Only security can create a policy. Who will approve that policy? Tomorrow, if a cyber incident happens, who will provide the budgets to come out of that incident? Who will provide the budgets to do the cyber forensic analysis, investigations? So you need all the functions of the healthcare system to work together to get the security resilience in place. So the layer what we need is governance layer, people, process, technology and infra. And cyber resilience, Mathur Sahab said to explain, cyber resilience is about having cyber security in place, which is preventive, detective, predictive, plus having a mechanism in place if still an attack happens, how do I come back to my business as usual? That is cyber resilience.
Perfect. So let me come back to Mr. Goel. Mr. Goel, you mentioned that training and awareness, all of us agree that training and awareness, various sessions is one of the most important tool for spreading awareness about this subject. So there is a talk of behavioral change assessment of or there are known metrics for behavioral change following the training sessions. So my question to you is that as a large hospital, and I know that you have many initiatives around this, how do you measure behavioral change in non-IT teams post the awareness sessions that are conducted, and how is that connected to is that at all connected to the yearly assessment of the individual in terms of the CRs, ACRs?
CCR is the change request you had mentioned.
No, so I meant the confidential report. I meant the appraisal, annual appraisal mein.
Corporate it is
Annual appraisal.
Okay. CR is for government.
Okay, got it. So I have created the system where I have a very little dependency on the user on their behavior, because we have a password policy which gets expired on their own.
जो ललित सर ने बताया कि ग्रीड और ये उसमें हंगर भूल गए, भूख भूल गए, भूख.
Yeah.
So one of these.
किसी को नहीं चाहिए आज.
Yeah, so those things are applicable when you have a free environment out there and people have got a free access of the internet in their system into the closed environment. In our environment, first is we have not given the access to everybody. We have given a very restricted access to the people, those who have access. And then furthermore, we have a monitoring system and alert system which a dedicated team is monitoring if there is any alert which is coming in. So user need not to change their behavior. That is the way I work. I feel that
ठीक है.
IT implementations are successful only and only if user are not changing their behavior.
Not changing the behavior.
Not changing
Okay.
their behavior.
Okay.
Any IT system will lead to the failure if you are forcing user to change the behavior.
Okay.
If
That's-
user are so comfortable working with the IT system, the way they are working into the routine way,
Perfect.
then only your systems and applications will be successful.
Correct. Kunal, half a minute.
Basically, we have to include certain points in the SOPs, and as he said that we have to restrict the users to a certain point that what activity they can perform in the system. So that is the best way of doing the things. We have to define the group policies, and they are automatically implemented into the user system. So that is the best way of doing the things.
Dr. Lalit, so behavioral change, sir, is saying that I ensure that as the head of IT, no behavioral change or change management is required from the user side, and everything is systems is perfect. So your views on this?
Again, I'll go back to my same submission. People, process, technology is required. I can have n number of technology tools. End of the day, who is using them? The humans, the users. Who made them? Humans.
So that's why this term called human firewall.
Absolutely. And that was my PhD thesis actually, human firewall. So, human firewall is your biggest asset and the weakest link also.
Yes, weakest and
We
the
need to keep training that human asset and not those yearly appraisal cycles or CR reports only. Make your awareness training gamified. Let them enjoy that training and then keep on doing simulations for them so that they live through a simulation of an attack and what they should do and what they should not do, both aspects. And that's the only way to train your people.
All right, thank you everyone for giving your views, Mr. Goel, Kunal and Lalit. And with that we come to the, yes, you have a question, sir, please.
DPDPA is not a IT problem or a...
It is a finance problem, sir. जब 250 crore का penalty आएगा ना,
Sir, yes.
तो finance
coming
वाले
to
को
the
बहुत
point
तकलीफ
over
होगा.
there. The deadline is May 2026.
No, sir,
Entire-
2027.
27.
Yeah, next year.
Sir, the penalty which is coming on is very heavy.
Yes.
People don't realize it. First warning, second is the heavy penalty.
Correct.
Third thing, the entire policy with respect to consent, because you are a public forum, you deal with public in that place.
Correct.
Has to change, because when you are giving a slip, you are feeding a information, you are signing a hospital form, everything need to change because that information.
Sir,
that
can we have the question, please? What is the question?
My question is, how are we geared up in this environment with respect to DPDPA? How well we know about DPDPA?
So, like I said, that it's a break time. We can have this question discussion offline. But I didn't take up DPDPA today because it needs 5 hours to discuss, and today we had only half an hour.
Sir.
So I didn't discuss that. But yes, let us discuss it offline, right?
With
Thank you very much.
permission.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you on that. I was part of the drafting committee, so I can answer that.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very big round of applause for our respected moderator and the panelists. May I request Mr. Afzal Kamal to please come up on the stage and felicitate all the esteemed dignitaries who have given their time and talking about the data security and the accessibility in the healthcare IT, which is one of the very biggest threat, you can say, or the challenge which is coming in future for India. Can we have a very big round of applause to all the esteemed panelists who have just delivered a very wonderful conversation.